Hi, welcome to season 2 of QuBites, your bite-sized pieces of quantum computing. My name is Rene from Valorem Reply, and today we're going to talk about the Unitary Fund. And I'm honored to have a special expert guest today, which you might actually remember from a previous episodes, Dr. Sarah Kaiser. Hi, Sarah, welcome to the show. How are you, and what are you wearing around your neck?
Hey everybody. Yeah, no, I in my non-quantum time, I like making stuff in jewelry with laser cutters. So this happens to be a circuit diagram that basically makes an entangled pair, but as jewelry. So even in my spare time, it can get a little entangled.
Oh, I love it. Entangled. Oh, that is just fantastic. Thanks for setting it up today. And as usual, you look great, even without the necklace, but this is just the icing on the cake. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, for those that didn't see some of our previous episodes with Dr. Sarah Kaiser, Sarah, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background as it relates to quantum computing?
Yeah, sure. So I have a PhD in quantum computing. I did experimental quantum optics stuff, building lasers and robots for space quantum communication. And now I work as a quantum software developer on a lot of different open source projects at the Unitary Fund. And I also do a lot of, I'm really passionate about helping people learn about quantum computing and learn how they can get involved. So I've written a number of books and I stream on Twitch, live coding, literally just me writing quantum programs and software, and you can watch me make all of the semicolon mistakes.
Yeah. Well, you're just amazing. You're sharing all the knowledge, and folks, make sure to join her Twitch channel or to subscribe rather, and also follow her on Twitter. And I hear a book is about to come out, or maybe it's already out, but make sure to check out Sarah's quantum computing book. But let's dive into today's topics. You mentioned the Unitary Fund already, and that you're working on a bunch of open source projects. What is the Unitary Fund actually all about, and what are you doing there?
Yeah, so I'm a technical staff and quantum community lead at Unitary Fund. And what we kind of have two main missions. We're a 501c3 nonprofit, which I think is really cool because like I kind of always wanted to work at a nonprofit, but you don't really usually see like tech developer and nonprofit sort of in the same space. But yeah, so we do two things. One, we run a micro grant program where we basically give out $4,000 US grants to projects that we think will help kind of build up the quantum open source ecosystem. So, like our main mission here is to make sure we can enable quantum technologies for everyone on all platforms, on all in all spaces. So yeah, so we want to help actually fund projects that we think are going to benefit that ecosystem that maybe don't exactly fit into like academic grant funding or like industry interest. Um, and the other thing that we do is we have our own kind of research lab called Unitary Labs, and given the experience that we have, funding microgrant projects and just kind of staying on top of the buzz in quantum open source, we kind of can see where there might be some things that are missing or that we think that would be really helpful to the ecosystem. So that's basically where Unitary Labs comes in. And there we basically, so far we have one project called Mythic, which is an error mitigation library for, so it's in Python and works with a bunch of different backends like Qiskit, Quill, Circ, and basically allows you to take quantum circuits that you might want to run on a NISQ sort of devices and implement. Our package then implements kind of a middle layer of doing error mitigation so that possibly the circuit or program that you've been wanting to run might run a little bit better. um, so yeah, it's kind of a really interesting research problem in space, both for me personally and I think for the field more generally, because yeah, we want to make we want to make quantum computers useful, right? So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is open source, right? And so this
Yep.
is not just it's not just about like creating this, but actually also sharing it with the whole community out there, right? And this is just fantastic because like if we all share our knowledge together, right, we all benefit from it in the end, and that's just that's why we both actually love open source so much, right? That we can also collaborate nicely together and also enable things that, and people in particular, right, enable people that might not be able otherwise to work on these kind of things. So love it. That's great. And Unitary Fund, I mean, has the name has some meaning, and especially in the quantum computing context, right? So can you tell, just for our audience, to make sure we're all on the same page, like what does unitary actually mean in the quantum computing context?
Yeah, our tagline is evolution is unitary, but the term in quantum computing, it's basically the mathematical term to describe quantum operation, like any valid quantum operation, which basically also have the property of being reversible. So, like the Hadamard and C naught, these are all unitary operations uh, that you can apply. Um, but yeah, like we kind of see it as, this is how we get to the next level. This is how we kind of evolve the quantum ecosystem to the next step. So yeah, that's kind of the meta behind our name.
Gotcha, gotcha. And so for our audience, how can people get involved in the Unitary Fund? I think there are some grants, opportunities like these micro grants, or even, of course, like, the money needs to come in somewhere. So also sponsorship and donations and all of that are also possible. So how can get people get involved?
Absolutely. Yeah, so probably the first and foremost way is to hop on our Discord. So we have a pretty active Discord where we're working on a bunch of like projects that we work on, but any of our grantees or anyone who's kind of working on quantum open source, you can find a lot of other people who are probably working in the same language as you or using the same packages and ask questions. We actually do, along with our Unitary Labs development, we actually do our like sprint stand-ups every week
Mhm.
and milestone reviews all in public. So if you are curious as to like what the software development cycle looks like, especially when it comes to quantum, you can literally just drop in and either lurk in our meetings or be an active participant. We now have a ton of community members that actually are making PRs on our projects, and we kind of do stand up with them, and I'm so excited about this. It's really fun. Um, but yeah, like obviously being a nonprofit, donations are great, support is great. We run a bunch of different events throughout the year, so we're more than happy to kind of like talk about specific sponsorships, or if you just want to fund micro grants, that is always appreciated. And if you have an idea for a project, like apply for a micro grant. There are no like prerequisites other than you can fill out a form. And yeah, the project need not be specifically a piece of software. So we've funded grants that have been like for podcasting equipment for a quantum computing podcast, to educational resources, to like student group discords and stuff like that. So anything that you feel like would be a benefit to the quantum open source ecosystem, we're here and we're ready to listen. So, and hopefully write you a check.
Well, I love that, especially that you're basically saying, well, it's whole open, right? It's not just about building things with code, or you don't need to be like, you don't need to have a PhD in physics, but you can still contribute to the community, right? And so that is very inclusive in itself,
Mhm.
and I love that approach. That's awesome. And also, what I haven't heard about is like the approach you just mentioned. You're not just releasing all your projects open source, but you even have the whole development flow open where people can join the sprint meetings and all of that. That is fantastic. I mean, that's next level transparency right there.
I mean,
Awesome.
it's something that I really wish I had kind of seen as a grad student, or just earlier in my career, to know what it looks like. Because I thought a software developer would just sit down, open notepad.exe, and write an entire application and then save it and it would run. Like, that's
Yeah.
absolutely not how software development works. And so, like, it's really
Yeah.
neat to see that whole process.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, same moments for me. Like when I was in university many moons ago, right? And then you graduate, and then you have your first job, and it's like, hmm. Well, I didn't learn how to use source control system, right? Like these are the basic things. Like no one teaches you in college or university. I mean, some do, right? To be very honest,
Yeah, yeah.
actually, that changed a lot. But back in the days, it was just not part. You learned basics, learned all of that. Not basic, but the basics like
Mhm.
C++, and all of the stuff, and math and all of that, but not the practical things. And this is awesome that you actually make that transparent and share the knowledge, and so you can just drop in, watch it, and learn as you go, right? So love
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, this is amazing, Sarah, and we could talk for many more hours, but we're already at the end of the show. But thank you so much, Sarah, for joining us today and sharing all your insights. It's very much appreciated, and showing your new necklace. That is just fantastic. Yeah, again, thank you so much, Sarah.
Yeah, no problem.
Cool. Um, Folks, thanks for tuning in to another episode of QuBites, your bite-sized pieces of quantum computing. Make sure to follow Sarah on Twitter, subscribe to our Twitch channel, drop into some of the sprint reviews at our open source projects, but most importantly, also check out her book. You will learn a lot of amazing things, actually, how you can develop for also with the Azure Quantum, QDK, and Q Sharp, and many more things. But definitely worth checking out. Again, thanks for joining us today. Stay safe. See you soon, and take care. Bye bye.